Hello students, this is a tutorial on how to register during the apartment registration process. I will go through what the Student Housing Gateway is going to look like during the apartment registration process so that your designated roommate it feels prepared to be able to log in and sign your group up for an apartment. First, you're going to log into the Student Housing Gateway. As I've mentioned previously, the Student Housing Gateway link is available on the RCL website. It's also been emailed to you on several occasions with information regarding the housing registration process. So once you arrive at the Student Housing Gateway, you're going to click on I am a residential student and would like to log in. Next, you're going to enter your LancerNet ID and password. This is going to be the same information you use to log into other university resources such as Canvas. And once you put in your LancerNet ID and password, you're going to click on Continue. The Student Housing Gateway will say welcome, and it'll have your name listed there. And you have this option for housing registration information. So you're going to click on that link. That's going to bring down a second link called housing registration information. You're going to click on that link. If you click on that second link, housing registration information, and your web browser does not take you to a new page, it's because your pop-up blocker is activated. So you have to enable pop-ups in your web browser in order to go to the next step within the housing registration process. And so you'll come to this welcome page regarding housing registration. And you'll see that there is an apartment registration button there. You're going to go ahead and click on that to begin the registration process. And you're going to see step one is just letting you know what terms you're signing up for. So by default, all students are going to be registering for both the fall and spring semester. If you're a student that's departing housing after the fall semester due to the student teaching, graduating, an internship, you'll have the opportunity to communicate that to the RCL office in November. But for right now, you will get registered for both the fall and spring term by default. So you don't need to do anything in step one. You'll proceed to step two, which is to select your roommates. So as we mentioned before, you have to fill apartments to full occupancy to register. So this is where you're going to pull in your roommates with that RMS ID and that roommate PIN. So you're going to go ahead and click on that green plus sign underneath roommate at the bottom of the screen to start pulling in your roommates. When you click on that green plus sign, you'll be able to type in the RMS ID number of the roommate you wish to pull in. Once you type in the number, their name will appear, and then you will type in their roommate group PIN. So whatever PIN they gave you, that's what you're going to put in there to add them as your roommate. Once you type in both of those pieces of information, you're going to click on the green select button near the bottom of that box to add that roommate to your group. Once you do that, you're going to see that that roommate is listed. Next, you'll go ahead and click on that green plus sign below your roommate's name to add additional roommates. Once you've added your additional roommates, you will then click on the next step button at the bottom of the screen to search for an available apartment. On this next screen, you're going to have the opportunity to search by community for an apartment that is available. Only apartments that have not been signed up for or locked for registration by other groups will appear here. And only apartments that will meet the criteria for the number of roommates you pulled in will show up here. So what I mean by that is, if you have only pulled in one roommate, the system is only going to show you 2-bedroom apartments. If you've pulled in 3 other roommates in your group of 4, you're only going to see the 4-bedroom apartments. So it's just important to know that. So at this point, what you would do is when you're ready to lock an apartment and begin registering for it, you're going to click on that yellow lock icon on the right-hand part of the screen so you can lock that apartment and begin to register you and your roommates for that unit. And you'll notice that once you've locked the apartment and you've gone to this next screen, there is a red timer at the top of the screen. Once you lock the apartment, you have 4 minutes to complete the registration process. So prior to locking the apartment, nothing is being timed, but once you lock the apartment, there is a timer on there. The reason for the timer is to avoid a student locking an apartment and leaving it locked all day, and then it's not available to other students to register. So this is very much like Ticketmaster, where you get a period of time where you can lock it down to complete the registration process. But if you don't finish registering in that time frame, that lock will be released and it'll become available for other students again. If you have all your roommates' RMS ID numbers and roommate PIN in front of you, 4 minutes is more than enough time to complete the registration process. At this point, there are only 2 additional steps you need to complete. One is to put each of your roommates in a bedroom in the apartment, and then the second is to choose a meal plan for your roommates and yourself. So as you will see right now, there are drop downs for the individual bedrooms. You'll click on a drop down and then select which roommate you want to put in each bedroom. Once you've placed each individual in a bedroom, you're going to go ahead and click on the next step button at the bottom of the screen. That will then take you to the area to select a meal plan. And so each individual in the apartment will be listed. You'll see their names there. And there'll be a drop down to select a meal plan. Once you pull the drop down and pick the meal plan you want, you're going to click on that green select button. And then you'll see that at the bottom of the screen it shows what it looks like once that meal plan is locked in for each individual. So once you've given each person a meal plan, you're going to click on the finish button at the bottom of the screen. And then you have registered you and your roommates for the apartment space. What will happen is, once you click on that finish button and you get the registration completed screen, the system is going to generate emails to you as a designated roommate and each of your roommates as a confirmation letting you know where you've signed up to live for and what meal plan you're registered for. So you will get a confirmation email from the system, so that you have record of you being registered for that unit. If you have additional questions about how to register online, you can call the RCL office at 434-395-2080, and we'll be happy to answer your questions.